Hey, what is up, Flavor family? It is Bobby coming at you from the grocery store because today's review is all about nut milks and milk alternatives, which was a very highly requested video the other week when I posted on the community tab. So we're gonna break it all down. Plus, I wanted to make sure I covered all the bases. So I did an Instagram poll the other day and said, hey, what do you guys wanna know about this video? And you guys said, which alternative milks have the highest protein, which are the best for toddlers, what's are good for baking, tell me everything about oat milk, which is getting really popular right now, which ones are keto, which ones have the same nutrition as cow's milk, and a lot more stuff. So let's start breaking it down and talking about my most popular and most favorite one so far is almond milk. Now, I want you to keep in mind, when you buy almond milk, there's actually very few almonds in here. There's only 2% almonds, the rest is water and emulsifiers. So when you pour a cup of almond milk, we're talking about like 7 or 8 almonds in that one cup. You're much better off, just so you know, making homemade almond milk. And Dessi has a recipe she posted the other week on the blog. I'll put the link down below. It is phenomenal. It uses almonds and dates for the sweetener. If you want to make it keto, you can use stevia or monk fruit, and it's so delicious. Always buy organic. That's my most important thing because almond trees are very heavily sprayed around the base of the tree. They spray it with pesticides, they spray it with chemicals because they want all the grass to die around the bottom of the tree. So when they shake the trees and the almonds fall down, there's nothing to impede all the picking up process. So always buy organic because those pesticides leach into the tree. So this one right here, Blue Diamond, is not. I actually thought that one of my favorite brands, Califia, because the flavor and texture is great, is organic, but it's not. But many of these are. This one is, and this one's my favorite, and I know this one's Art's favorite because it's a Simpsons episode, right, Art? This is great because it only has water and almonds, and it actually has more almonds in here per cup because there's no emulsifiers and stuff. Another really important point, when you buy almond milk, please always buy unsweetened almond milk. You don't need the sweetener because we're talking copious amounts of sugar, sometimes up to 16 grams of sugar in one cup. If you want to know how much 16 grams is, we're talking that's 4 teaspoons. Imagine 4 teaspoons of white refined sugar going into one cup. Super bad news. So always buy unsweetened. If you look at the nutrition, it's actually pretty low in carbs, so it's keto, but it's also very low in protein because all the protein is strained away. If you make homemade almond milk, it's actually higher, which is why this one, the Milk here, has more protein. It's 4 grams because it's not as strained. It has more of the almonds here. Keep in mind that a lot of these milks, no matter what they are going to have a lot of emulsifiers and gels in there because they don't have a lot of fat. When you make homemade, it does have fat, but they need to emulsify it into a thick and creamy texture. Almost all emulsifiers are fine. It's just purely for texture purposes. But that leads us to the milk that needs the most emulsifiers and the one that's crazy popular right now, oat milk. Think about oats. There's no fat, right? So they have to add emulsifiers in the form of rapeseed oil. This one doesn't have carrageenan, and many of these don't. But I just spied that Pacific brand actually has carrageenan in here. A lot of manufacturers now go away from carrageenan because it's a natural emulsifier made from seaweed, which on the surface is fine, but it actually turns out that carrageenan is really bad for your stomach and your intestine. And if you have intestinal issues, definitely stay away from that. Very important for oat milk is to buy organic because oats are highly sprayed with Monsanto Roundup. Thank you, Monsanto. And they're highly saturated with glyphosates. Glyphosates are the active ingredient in Roundup. Oatly doesn't say organic, but if you read the label and you go on their website, it's 100% glyphosate free. It also, like I said, it has the rapeseed oil on here, which is GMO canola oil. But once again, I went on their website and it's non-GMO. I wish they would put that on the packaging. The downside to Oatly is check out the ingredients here and the nutrition facts. There's 16 grams of carbs here because oats are very starchy. So if you're on the low carb diet, don't get this. And it's high in sugar because it's starchy. There's 7 grams here for 1 cup. Barista blends, okay? This makes the most wicked dairy-free latte, along with like almond milk barista style, but oat milk is the best. But I've been getting that recently at Intelligentsia, and my stomach hurts afterwards. And I started doing research. It's because these barista blends are loaded with sunflower oil and other emulsifiers to really make them fatty, so they whip up. So if you have a sensitive stomach, stay away from these because they're really gonna mess you up. Hey guys, let's take a quick break from the video and thank today's sponsor of the video, Audible, which is perfect timing because I've been listening to a bunch of audiobooks, how to be more productive on Audible lately, which is perfect timing because our life just got a little crazier last week when our baby girl, Rose Honey, joined the family, and I've been listening to audiobooks from Tim Ferriss, specifically the 4-Hour Work Week, which I love. Like, it's just all about being more productive and how to get more done in less time. So Audible is great because you can listen to audiobooks on the go, working out, traveling. I mean, I can't think of the last time I sat down and read an actual book, but listening to audiobooks on Audible has been fantastic. And you guys, they have a sick promo right now where you can get a 30-day free trial by going to audible.com/FlavCity or texting FlavCity to 500-500. And not only is it a 30-day risk-free trial, even if you cancel and you don't like Audible, you get to keep those 3 free audiobooks. Plus, every month you get another 3 free audiobooks, including 2 Audible originals and 1 regular audiobook. And if you don't use your credits every month, they keep rolling over. So like, I think last month I logged onto my account and I realized I had 5 free audiobooks waiting for me. If you don't like an audiobook after you listen to it, you can return it. Where else can you do that except on Audible? So definitely check it out using my promo code at audible.com/FlavCity or texting FlavCity to 500-500. Hey, and do me a favor, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you're listening to right now on Audible and give me more recommendations for being more productive because I need as much production as possible. So thank you, mad love to Audible for sponsoring the video. Now let's get back to those milk alternatives. Now, you might be wondering why some almond milk like this is shelf stable out here and the same brand is in the refrigerator aisle over there. It's all about pasteurization. This one on the shelf is ultra high temperature pasteurized, meaning it is shelf stable for a long time, up until 2020, which means if The Walking Dead ever comes true in real life, you should have a couple of these in your pantry so you can have your cereal in the morning. And this one is high temperature, short time pasteurization, which is actually better because you don't kill all of the nutrients and enzymes in the almond milk or the nut milk because it's not exposed to super high heat. Okay, going to another really, really popular milk right now, peas. I think, Art, you recently said, does a pea have a nipple? How does it have milk? This stuff is really popular and it gets the Bobby seal of approval because the nutrition is fantastic. But once again, don't be fooled. A lot of you guys on Instagram were asking about what's a good chocolate milk to drink. There is no good chocolate milk when it comes to milk alternatives because if you look at the sugars, 17 grams of additional sugar in a 1 cup portion. That's ridiculous. So you gotta stick with the unsweetened vanilla is fine. I wish this was organic because peas grow in the ground and they're very susceptible to pesticides, but I haven't found organic yet. But look at the nutrition here. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 8 grams of protein. This is phenomenal. Now, another question on Instagram is what's the best milk alternatives for toddlers? And the answer is hemp milk. I actually say hemp milk and pea milk because it has the most similar nutrition to cow's milk. Hemp is fantastic. It's a superfood. It's high in protein, omega-3s, but this is what you want to give to toddlers along with the pea protein. Now, speaking of toddlers and young kids, I would highly recommend for them to stay away from soy milk. I think soy milk for everyone is probably a good idea to stay away from, especially for us guys, Art and I, because too much estrogen from the soy milk could affect your swimmers and potentially give you man boobs, and no one wants to wear a man's ear, or what's the other name for it? The bro. Seinfeld reference. But when you're a young kid and your hormone levels are starting to adjust, you don't want the estrogen from soy milk. If you are going to drink soy milk, get organic. Otherwise, once again, our buddies Monsanto has GMO soy that you don't want to eat. I will say this makes a really good latte, and the nutrition is great too. We're talking about 7 grams of protein. Once again, stay away from the sweetened, but if you're going to do it, do organic. Just stay away from the kiddies. Rice milk. I'm going to go on the record and say stay away from rice milk because if you look at the nutrition, there's 23 grams of carbs in here. 10 of those are sugar, but rice is a starch. Also, white rice is somewhat unnutritional, right? It's had the outer bran, the hull removed from it. So this doesn't have much nutrition. It's very starchy. Canola oil, gels. Oh, and also keep in mind that rice is almost always very high in arsenic levels. So another reason to stay away from the rice milk. Now, I wanted to go over some of the common ingredients you're going to read on the back of milk alternative boxes, which are totally fine, but you might not know what they are. Sunflower lecithin is a natural emulsifier. Dipotassium phosphate, emulsifier. And a lot of times these milks are enriched with vitamins to make them mimic the nutritional profile of milk. So stuff like calcium carbonate, tricalcium phosphate, dicalcium phosphate, riboflavins, all okay. And then a lot of times the emulsifiers you're going to see are acacia gum, xanthan gum, locust bean gum, gellan gums, a lot of gums because these don't have the fat that milk has and they need it for the consistency. And finally, tocopherols. Tocopherol is a natural vitamin E antioxidant, totally fine. We talked about that last week in the video about cereals. Now, going back to your questions from Instagram, what are the best ones for baking and cooking? For cooking and baking, you can use almond milk. Almond milk is great for pancakes, cookies, and waffles, but if you're actually making a crust, like a pie crust, I would do soy milk. Soy milk gives you the best consistency every time. Which ones are keto? I'd say the best keto ones are almond and pea, but always do unsweetened. Hey, if you want to sweeten yourself, add 2 drops of stevia, you're done. Coconut milk. There's a difference, my friends, between coconut milk in the can and this. I always get this question. This is coconut milk beverage. This is watered down coconut milk. This is not good for baking or cooking. When you make my sauces that usually have coconut milk, like in the new cookbook, use canned coconut milk. Try to buy ones that don't have too many emulsifiers in there. I'll put my favorite brand down in the description box below. Oh, this is a really cool one. So I love this brand. This is a cashew milk. Really, really tasty. It's a startup out of San Francisco. They also make a killer yogurt that is unsweetened, made out of cashews. Absolutely delicious. And also when you go to cow's milk, keep in mind it's actually very high in sugar. It has 12 grams of carbs in the form of sugar, so it's not very keto friendly. Checking my notes here, I think that's all of it, but same thing. Cashew milk is all good. Just read the label, make sure it doesn't have too many emulsifiers, make sure it's unsweetened, buy organic when you can, and also keep in mind, almond milk is not very good for the environment. It takes 1.1 gallons of water to grow one almond, and 99% of them are grown in California, which is almost always in a drought. But if you're gonna do it, try making the homemade recipe down in the description box. It is by far the best ever. So that is it, you guys. Milk review is done. Let's wrap this up and get out of here. All right, my friends, that is it. Art and I just rocked the milk alternatives video, but we're not done. We're actually going to another grocery store as soon as we're done here filming a beef review video that hopefully will come out tomorrow. But let us know what you want to see next. Leave a comment down below. Like the video. Sharing is caring. Subscribe to our channel for new videos every week. And we do live streams every Wednesday or Thursday, but you have to hit that bell button to get notified when we schedule it. They're a lot of fun. There's 2 more review videos going down below us right now, but Art and I will see you very soon. Until then, hashtag keep on cooking, mad love, and peace.